It's really the simple things, okay? But like in this book, both of them were like... Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be so much fun. I haven't filmed one of these in literally forever. I think it's been like 2 months since I filmed a reading wrap up. I went through a book slump, okay? So let's just not talk about it. We're going to leave that book slump energy over that way. In today's video, I'm going to talk about all the books that I read in August and September. I don't know, I can normally read like 5 to 7 books in a month. That didn't happen, obviously. Book slump check, okay? So I have a total of 5 books to cover today. That was over the span of August and September, which really makes me so sad. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into the video because I have so many fun books to talk about. I cannot wait. Okay, first up, we have Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I feel like I had to put this book first. This book was a 5-star read, 1000%, no doubt in my mind about it. I still think about it till this day. This book just had the most amazing quotes, the most amazing way of like conveying actual true love, like, and it was done in such a simple way that just like really got emotions out of me, okay? And how dare Annabelle Monaghan have a cutesy fun cover and fully make me cry? That's just not fair. Really quickly before we get into all of the quotes that I screenshotted from this book, I want to say what this book is about because I feel like if I just give you the quotes and I don't give you like the actual premise of the story, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna like make sense in your head. This whole book is following our main character, Allie. She's in the process of getting a divorce. She has kids. She has like this whole life that she just feels like is crumbling down. She's also still dealing with the grief of losing her mother. It's just like, Allie is such a strong character. I cannot stress that enough. And then you're also getting Ethan, who's the love interest. He is literally perfect. Just like the simple things that he said. Every time that Allie would like question herself, he would like talk her out of it very simply, very easily. I don't know, I just feel like Ethan had like a very simplistic way of like showing his love for Allie. And it wasn't like overwhelming. It didn't really feel like only a romance book. I love when that happens. Let me see if I can find some of the quotes that I have from Summer Romance. I took so many pictures of quotes from this book because there were just so many and I feel like they just needed to live in my head and live in my phone literally forever. The first quote I want to share says, "There's no happy ending to an unhappy story. I give him a little shove and take a sip of my beer." That's so annoying. You can't keep quoting my own speech back to me. I stretch out my wet legs in front of me and close my eyes as the sun dries them. But it's true, he says. You can't just keep doing what you're doing and wait for it to turn into something happy. You kind of have to look for the happy things along the way. Another quote says, "He's waiting for me to go on. I don't know, it just felt like hope or something, like she thought more things might happen to me. Of course more things are going to happen to you. Once he's repeated it back to me, I'm aware of the passive voice I've used. I want to correct myself. I might do more things." This next quote is one that I wanted to share literally since the second that I read this book. I think I shared it in the vlog that I read this book in. I have to share it again. I've had a summer romance, but he's something more. If you actually fall for someone who's leaving, it's as crazy as getting a dog. Phyllis looks confused. I explain. You get a dog and you know 2 things. You're going to fall in love with it and it's going to die one day. You knowingly walk headfirst into a heartbreak. That's the basic madness of dog ownership. As a girl who literally spirals consistently about how one day her dog will not be here anymore and like I don't know how my life will continue when my dog's not here anymore. I feel like I got hit by a bus, got launched into train tracks, got ran over by a train. Oh my god. And this quote continues on, by the way. It says, "Alice, besides you and my girls, everyone I know is dead. I've buried them all. Do you think I wish I'd never met them? Do you wish you never met me? Of course not. I am so uncomfortable talking about this. I do not want to talk about her dying. I do not want to engage in death in any way. I can't believe I brought this up." She smiles at me. "You got a dog. You're a proven risk taker." I'll share one more, but I have to find like a good one to share. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Ethan is doing like the most simple, mundane things. It means so much to Allie and he knows that it will mean so much to Allie. It says, "I put Ferris on the back seat with Brenda and he hands me a paper cup of coffee. Thank you, I say, and that doesn't really cover it. Bringing another person a cup of coffee says, I'm thinking about how your day is going to go. Or at a minimum, I want you to also have this thing that I'm going to enjoy. I'm weirdly moved by this." It's the simple things. It's really the simple things. I think we should move on to our next book now. I think I've been talking about that book for way too long. The next book I want to talk about is A Flick in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I still don't know how to feel about this book and it's been about 3 weeks since I've read it. I think I'm gonna give this a 3 stars. I think that's where I'm like staying at. That's like my stagnant, like I honestly don't know what I would rate it. This book is following Chloe. Basically when she was like 12 years old, her dad would kidnap and murder teenage girls. But now all that is behind her and she honestly just like keeps pushing off the past. She doesn't want to think about it anymore. She's moved on with her life. Now older, she's a psychologist, she's due to be married, like all of this stuff is happening that's good for her. And then things start repeating themselves. So more teenage girls are going missing in the same way and Chloe's like, okay, pause. what's happening. I honestly gave this book a 3 stars just because it took us forever to like get to the point of Chloe actually caring enough to investigate. I feel like it took until like halfway through the book for Chloe to actually come to terms with the fact that this is happening again and she should probably try to do something about it. So that's why I rated this book a 3 stars. I feel like the only redeeming quality of this book was just like the simple setting, vibe, and then like the plot twist. Plot twist ability, like I didn't guess the plot twist. I made so many different guesses throughout the whole book of what the plot twist would be. The plot twist was so left field to me that maybe that also affected 3-star rating. I feel like maybe that also brought down the rating. I actually read a lot of thriller and mystery books, which I was not expecting. Next up is Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This book, guys. I'm still shocked and baffled by this ending. I love when thriller books end with me feeling like I'm dumb, delusional, and like clueless. I just love a good plot twist. It's as simple as that, okay? And this book was that for me. It had so many different plot twists. The storylines were very easy to follow because you're following 2 different characters, following like 2 different storylines also because one is happening like back then, one is happening now. I feel like every character in this book was very like eerie and like, ooh, you're hiding something for sure. So in this book, you're following Trisha. Basically, her and Ethan are like a newly married couple. They're looking for a house to buy and they stumble upon this old like mansion of this doctor. Dr. Hale basically used to live in this mansion. It's very like creepy from the moment they enter. They're stuck there because there's like a snowstorm happening outside. It's a very like eerie, creepy vibe. Basically, Trisha is going around this mansion. She finds this like secret room behind a bookshelf, which love those vibes already. It's giving like classic mystery vibe. Like she's fully uncovering stuff behind a bookshelf. And what she's uncovering is these different audio files of recordings from Dr. Hale's psychiatrist meeting with different people trying to help them with their needs, but then like things are happening that are weird in the audio files. Very fun, fast-paced book. Definitely 5 stars. I think you should go read this book. Very short read. I read this in literally like a day. Obsessed with this book, okay? Next up is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the most recent book that I have read. I'm gonna give it a 2 stars. I think originally I gave it a 3 stars. It's definitely a 2. I just didn't really enjoy this book. I know a lot of people love this book. It just felt very like Wattpad-y to me. And let me explain, okay? Basically, the main character, Avery, is like this normal average girl and it's really pushing this narrative. She's so basic. She's like everyone else. Like, she would never inherit like billions of dollars and end up living in a mansion. And then that happens. The only thing that I actually found interesting about this book was the mystery, but then like the payoff at the end, like when you actually uncover the mystery all along, it's just like, I actually don't care. I also think it should be mentioned, this book is a love triangle, which obviously is taking off stars for me. I am such an avid hater of love triangles. I don't even know why I picked up this book when I knew that would be in it. Like, I'm okay with a love triangle when it's like, hey, one guy's actually okay and one guy's a jerk. But like in this book, both of them were like, okay, like I don't hate either of them. Giving such Wattpad energy, like the same energy of like, oh my god, I'm so normal, I'm average, I'm putting on my Converse, then I'm running down the steps to head to school, and oh my gosh, One Direction is in my kitchen. I didn't like it that much. I'm so sorry for the people who did like it and were so excited for me to read this. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Last but not least, actually, it is least. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. Let's check what I gave this book. I actually kind of forgot what I rated this book. I didn't like this one either. I feel like honestly that's how I got into my book slump, because I was going from like straight up 5-star reads back to back to like very mediocre books, and then I just decided to stop reading for like 2 weeks. I gave One of Us is Lying a 2 stars. Predictable is all that I can say. Saw the ending coming from a mile away. I will give this book props on the fact that like characters were fully fleshed out. They just weren't likable. Like, it feels like the author put these characters in the book the way that she did, just in the way of like so stereotypical. Like, you have the jock, you have the cheerleader, you have the nerd. Like, I hate stereotypical characters. I like when characters are multifaceted. I feel like that just didn't occur in this book. And also, this whole book's mystery is following this kid Simon, who basically runs this like popular gossip app that basically spills all of the secrets of people in the school. So when they all end up in detention together and Simon ends up there are 4 other people who are in that detention room who are now suspects in this case. I didn't like this book. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like the setting. It felt very hard to follow too because this author was really trying to like make all of the characters have so much backstory, which is also weird. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on a rant now because I'm kind of like confused and upset about this. The author gave these characters so much backstory, but also made them so cliche. You couldn't have gave them backstory and made them multifaceted. You have to like give them backstory and then she's still just like the popular cheerleader. Actually, what? It makes me so mad. I'm so sorry. 2 stars. So these are all the books that I read in August and September. Let me know if you've read any of these books. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys so very much and I'll see you guys super soon for my next video. I have so many videos coming out soon. It's actually insane. Like I literally have like 2 videos coming out back to back and then back to back again next week. It's insane. I don't know how I'm doing it. Honestly, I feel like as a girl who just like procrastinates everything in her life, how is this happening? I don't know, but so many fall videos coming out too. Like I love fall time actually. Like it is so amazing. I'll see you guys super soon. Love you. Bye.